All right, I'm gonna show you guys one simple strategy. It doesn't use any indicators. It's not supply demand. It's very, very simple. You use it on a 1 minute chart, just simple price action. You don't even use any lines, any boxes, any trend lines, none of that crap. It's so easy, and you can literally make money from it like without anything else. And I'm gonna show you exactly what that is and how I use it to make money. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Now, let's go ahead and look at SPX. I typically trade SPY or ES, but just to keep everything simple and on a blank chart, we're going to look at SPX because everything else I have is marked up. So, looking at SPX, let's look at this day. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, Jordan, this is like the most choppiest day ever. It's just back and forth. There's barely any range. Very choppy day. There's no way you could have traded this and made money. Well, when you know what you're doing, you can. And I'm going to show you pretty much this one simple strategy you can do. Again, trading it. Now, it kind of uses supply demand, but it also kind of doesn't, right? All you really need to understand is trend, okay? Now, trend is not as, you can make it as simple as higher highs and higher lows, right? That's pretty much at the end of the day all trend is. And if you can understand if price is making higher highs and higher lows, you're gonna make a lot of money. Now, let's go ahead and look at SPX and how you could have traded it simply without using anything, all right? 1 minute chart, blank. We'll even get rid of volume. Screw volume. Nothing, right? Now, market opens here, right? We come down, we go up, we go down. We move higher, we go down, we go higher. So at this point, at 10 o'clock, the first 30 minutes of the market open, you can identify, most of the times, you'll be able to identify a trend that's established, okay? And trend is simply, is price making higher highs and higher lows, or is it making lower lows and lower highs? Right? Uptrend, downtrend. Simple. Now, there is the occasional time where price is kind of going back and forth. We're in a little wedge, triangle, whatever you want to call it. That's when we're not in a trend. You don't want to trade. But most of the time, we'll be in one of these two, and then you can pretty much trade it. So, right here, the market open. We come down, first 30 minutes, boom. We know exactly what's happening, right? We have our uptrend. Simple, right? Very simple. You don't need to make it overcomplicated. Price breaks this high, okay? Then we form a low, price breaks another high, and then we come back down. So we've established trend. Now, what actually is a strategy, right? What is the strategy I'm talking about? It is trend. It's like, well, Jordan, if it's easy, it's just buying on an uptrend. Like, that doesn't help me. I don't know where to buy, where to enter, where to exit, blah, blah, blah. Listen, chillax. Okay, I'm going to show you how. It's not actually just going with the trend. It's going against the trend when the trend changes. Let me explain. Now, when you see this, price is an uptrend, and then you see this, what does that tell you? Right? Let's keep it simple again, because I like to be simple. If price is an uptrend, and now we start to break this low, that tells us two things, okay? Number one is that there's a good chance the trend is going to change, okay? Because in an uptrend, lows hold, and then highs break. But in this instance, the low broke, right? And the high held. So what does that tell us? Again, number one, we may start to see signs of a downtrend. Not guaranteed, but we have that in the back of our head. Okay, we may start to see signs of a downtrend. The second thing it tells us is that, in trading, there's always buyers and sellers, right? So at this point, I'll just do it on the graph here, or on the charts here, right? At this point, right here, the people who bought here, the buyers who defended this 4120 area right here, right? The buyers who defended this area, and then we also have sellers who defended this area, okay? Right, we have sellers up here, we have buyers down here. Very simple. Now, at this point in the chart, right, let's say we're at this point right here, right at 1023, this point. Who is in control? If I had to tell you what's going to happen next, not even what's going to happen next, I have to tell you who is in control of the current market without any other higher time frame context, any other indicators, any other data, just simply looking at this 1 minute chart. If I told you who is in control, okay, who's got the upper hand here, it's going to be the sellers. Okay, and the way I know it's the sellers is simply by this. The fact that the sellers were able to take price below the most recent buyers means the sellers are in control, right? At this point, the buyers are in control because we had sellers here, price came down, then we moved up, and now that tells us buyers are in control. But then at this point, something happens. We see a shift in control, a shift in structure and what's actually going on behind the scenes. And when we see this, right, this low breaks, just like this, that tells us sellers are now in control. And when you know that, you can start to put on a trade. So let me go ahead and draw this out again for you. Price is in an uptrend. We see that low break that tells us sellers are in control. What can we expect to happen next? We can expect maybe a pullback and then price to continue going lower, right? That's what we understand through that. Now, why do we know that? Well, we know that if these sellers are in control right here, right? If these sellers are in control, that means we believe price is not going to go higher than this level because sellers should defend that area when price comes up to it. We know there's strong sellers here. And, it's able to take out the buyers here, so we know that the sellers are stronger than the buyers. And if the sellers are stronger than the buyers, then they're not going to let the buyers take it past where they got in, right? Makes sense. Simple, easy. So, knowing this, right, when the price is at this point in time, okay, stay with me because I know this is getting a little crazy. At this point in time, when the price is right here, what do we know? We know that price is not going to go above here. Again, nothing 100%, but our thesis is that there's a good chance price is not going to go above this level, okay? And we're expecting price to go lower. So how do we put on a trade, right? So at this point in time, price finally breaks this low. We're right here, okay? This is the point in time that we're in the trade. We're analyzing what's going on. We know that price doesn't want to go above here. We know that price may want to continue going lower. How do we put on a trade? Well, a few things you can do, right? First thing, always have to look at is risk reward, okay? Now, when we start to pull back from the low that was made right here, okay, let's look at a downtrend for a second. In a downtrend, where is price looking to go? Price is always going towards the last low that was formed, like there and right there. Simple, right? Price always goes towards lows and highs. That's called liquidity. So, if we know, forget about this entry part. We don't know where the entry is yet, but we know that our stop, whatever trade we get in, we want to look to go short because sellers are in control, and our stop is going to be right above this high because we know that sellers should defend this area. And if we know that a stop should be there and our target should be at liquidity, right, which is going to be at the low, which is right here, just like that, now we have an idea of where we want to get out if we're wrong and where we want to get out if we're right. But what about where do we even get in, right? Am I getting in right as soon as it breaks? Do I get in on a pullback? What percent of a pullback? How do I know? What blah, blah, blah. Now, there's a lot of ways you can go about this, okay? Personally, what I like to do is combine it with other strategies. I look at supply-demand zones, balance theory, fair value gaps. There's a lot of things I look at in my own current strategy. But if you want to keep it simple, here's what you can do, okay? I always say at least a 1-to-1 risk reward is what you should have. At least 1-to-1, right? So if I know my target's here, I know my stop is here, okay? And if I want to get a 1-to-1, I know that I just need to get in right at this level here. So what do? I put a short level out here, right? I can short futures, options, blah, 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 stocks, whatever it is, shares. Okay, I put my stop right above here, put my target right there, and I walk away. Simple. Okay, I'm not looking for a crazy move all the way lower. I'm not sitting here telling you price is going to squeeze lower or ramp up higher. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that sellers are controlling this area, so I don't think price is going to go above it. And that there's a good chance price may go down to a downtrend, and we may target this liquidity area. That's where price wants to go. Those are the only two pieces of information I know, and you can form a trade based off that. So you can get in right the 50%. If you again want to add something to your strategy, which I recommend, you could say, okay, let me get in at this supply zone, right? So you could say I'm getting, trading supply demand. I'm getting right there, and now that's a 1.2R trade. You could say, well, Jordan, there's another actually supply zone right around here, right? I'm looking to get in short right there. That's a 3.2R trade, okay? But again, if you want to keep it simple and just go for an easy 1-to-1 risk reward, you can do that. If you know your target down here, you know your stop, you can do that. And you can see, if I draw that out, if this is my stop up here, right, and my target is down at this low, this liquidity level, it ends up working out. Now, we ended up going higher right after. So I was saying, Jordan, well, how do I know, I thought you told me now that sellers are in control, we're going to start to go in a downtrend. Why did we not drop? Again, the point of trading is not to make a massive move. The point of trading is to understand who's in control and take advantage of a short-term opportunity, right? And the opportunity, the edge, the advantage that we have is knowing and understanding that price is most likely not going to go above this high, and price most likely wants to go towards this low, right? And you can see price ends up touching it, and then we end up going and stopping out above this high. But you would have taken profit if you had the right idea of where to get out for your target and for your stop, right? So people overcomplicate it. Okay, you don't need to and the other thing as well is this is a chop fest. Okay, I know some of you guys watching this probably got stopped out during this entire day. This is a chop fest. Okay, but if you're able to simply just say, all right, I'm gonna get in anywhere in this area. As long as I have a good risk reward, right? Could be here, 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 anywhere in this area. If I know where my stop should be, I know where my target should be, as long as your targets and your stops are logical, okay? Not based off a percentage, not based off some random indicator. If they're logical, then you're able to get a good entry, and then you just let the trade play out. Set your stop, set your target, go for a walk, go swim in the pool, go to the gym, have a bite, have a drink, do whatever you want. I don't care. But if you're able to do this, set your emotions aside, you would have made money. Okay? Let me show you one more example. Let me show you an example on NQ. Just like this. NQ went crazy the past day. Let me show you an example over here. All right? Now this one is a little complicated, okay? I end up adding supply and demand into here. But you guys got it. You can stay with me, all right? So, this day market opens right around here, all right? Price takes liquidity up here. We hit its supply, we end up coming back down. Let's zoom down to 1 minute, see what's actually going on. Okay. Now in the beginning here, first 3 minutes, a little choppy, right? I don't know what's going on. We're wicks everywhere, up and down, who knows what's gonna happen. And then we see a huge move. We say, Jordan, we're in an uptrend. Awesome. See, you can start to see it form. You can see the high, the low, the high, the low, the high. We're in an uptrend. Nice, good job. And then what happens? What are we looking for this trade, for this strategy? We're looking for a trend change. Well, what do you notice happens right here? This is the last low of our uptrend, right? Remember our little uptrend we had? Price ends up breaking it. Now, we just barely end up breaking it. We wick few at times. We wick few it, but we end up breaking it. And so what does that tell us? It tells me, okay, again, two things. One, this high should hold. The sellers here are stronger than the buyers here. And we may start to see signs of a downtrend. So at this point in time, when price is here, after we saw, that shift in control, I know where I want to put my stop. My thesis is short because we're seeing a trend change. I know my stop wants to be here. I know my target, wants to be down at this low here, right? That was the low we made. So where do I get in? You can do a lot of things. You can get in at this supply zone. I personally wouldn't recommend that because now you're looking at a 0.6 R trade. You could get in right at the 1-to-1 mark, which is right here. Easy trade. You could get in at a supply zone up here, 1.5 R trade, right? It's ideally you want to use this with another strategy, but just by understanding where to have your logical stop, where to have your logical target, you're still going to be able to put on a very simple trade without using anything else, okay? And knowing this information, you would have gotten short, you would have taken profit here, right? And then price ended up going lower a little bit more throughout the day. I know you're screaming at me saying, Jordan, you got out right here, price kept going down. What about all that money you could have made? You could have made so much more money. I don't care, okay? We are not here to pick tops and bottoms. We are here to take advantage of a short piece of the move that we can get out of this entire day, okay? And if I can get, this trade would be 26 points on NQ, I would take that every single day. It's all about consistency. And if you can do this every day, you can make a lot of money. All right. So to clarify, focus on trend, wait for trend change to happen. So you want to see something like this, right? We break that low, we start to see a downtrend. As long as you know where your stops and your targets are, you're going to make a lot of money. All right. As long as you have a good risk reward with your entries, you'll be fine. Now, again, like I said, I recommend that you actually add this into another strategy, right? I look at higher time frame, supply and demand. I look at balance theory. I look at stop hunts, volume, market structure. There's a lot of stuff that I look at. Okay, and it's important that you use this with a proven strategy that you have. Okay, and if you haven't proven a strategy, if you haven't gone through the months of back testing and making sure that the strategy you're using actually works, you're simply wasting your time. You're not going to make money anyways. But if you want to learn the strategies that I use, that I've back tested for over a year, same exact strategies I've been using for the past 2 years to trade full time, go ahead and click that first link in the description below. You can book a call with someone from my team. We'll see if you're a good fit for my mentorship. I'll make sure you're successful in 8 weeks or less without relying on any alerts, without trading more than an hour a day. All right, that's my surprise. That's my gift to you guys. All right. So that being said, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment other videos I should make. Leave a like, subscribe. It really helps me out. It gives me the motivation to make more of these videos. And with that being said, I'll see you all in the next video.